WWF didn't really so much beat WCW as WCW beat themselves.
Well, yeah, because
I mean, Vince likes to take all the credit, but
and it's because of one name and two words, Vince Russo.
well, Russo didn't help, but finger poke of doom, giving away the results, the Bash at the Beach incident, like Jarrett laying down, just this is why the company's in this. I mean, trust me, Russo was the nail in the coffin. He
Uh,
was the shot to the back of the head, but they were shooting themselves in the feet before he got there. Which,
oh yeah.
wow, I just sort of realized that's how sorry of a state they were in. They were basically killing themselves, and all Russo did was like push him over the edge.
From day
uh,
one that I've been in WCW, I've done nothing but deal with the bullshit of the politics behind that curtain. You know what? I got a wife, I got two kids at home, and I really don't need this shit. You know what, Vince Russo? Good for you. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, especially since you were the man who wrote a story about Goldberg ignoring the script. You fucking idiot.
Ignoring it or eating it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did rip up that one. Like, it's like,
Okay.
okay. Goldberg became the Tasmanian Devil for some reason, and I don't know what's going on. The
Basically.
fuck was that?
That was my impersonation of the Tasmanian Devil.
That was a
Leave
pretty
me
spot on
alone.
impersonation. I
It
will
wasn't
admit
bad,
that.
yeah. Anyway,
But yeah,
Wow.
we go from having such great moments like that 15 years later. Surprisingly enough, it could actually have history repeat itself because right up to WrestleMania, we could actually have Shane McMahon cause one of the biggest shockwaves in WWE, especially if he beats The Undertaker
oh
next
god, yeah.
Sunday at WrestleMania.
Yeah, see, now let's talk about that for a second, because Max and I were talking about this on our show, I think last week or something. The stipulation that was put in place on Raw was that if The Undertaker loses, he's essentially fired, I guess.
It was supposed to be like his
His
last
last,
Wrestle.
yeah,
Yeah, his career is done.
yeah. But here's my question: if Shane wins, isn't whatever Vince implied not
Well,
can't Shane just overturn it right away?
well,
Well, since go ahead.
well, here's what I was talking to Brian Zane about I think it was this past Thursday. We were discussing like how this really would turn out. I mean, if Undertaker wins, then great, he's wins in his hometown, and but unfortunately, Shane McMahon does not get power of WWE, and maybe we'll find out what's in the lockbox, what's in the box, what's in the box,
I have
and
a
if
feeling if
Shane
Shane
wins,
wins, we're gonna find out what's in the lockbox anyway.
Yeah.
but and if Shane wins, Undertaker loses in Dallas, and some people might be pissed, but at the same time, we get a new McMahon to run the regime. So basically, it's boiled down to no matter who's going to win, no matter who loses, somebody's going to get pissed off, and some shit's going to hit the fan. That's the problem.
Yeah. I I personally, I think at this point, the biggest swerve they could actually throw us, especially considering all the speculation with that match, is, and again, I think part of the reason it'd be a swerve is because there's probably a couple of fans that, even if they're completely invested in the story, are going to, like, not buy it, but Shane wins clean.
See,
Biggest
I would have
possible swerve.
I think I would have a problem with Shane winning clean over the Undertaker.
Why is that?
I can see that. But you also have to remember that Undertaker is not getting younger. He is getting to that point where, again, it feels like it was like the same thing with Daniel Bryan, where, you see him in a matchup, you're worried about his health, you're worried about his, physical state. And
Oh
the
god, like every time Brian did the fucking headbutt after he came back the first time. Ugh.
I mean, it's like the same thing with Undertaker. You're worried that, he's going to do something where, he will collapse again, and this time maybe he won't even get up. Maybe he'll end up in a comatose state, a literal comatose state, not that, vindicative state that they did with Kane and Undertaker years
Yeah.
ago, which worked out so perfectly. Yay!
Oh, yeah, it totally did.
I mean, it was great to bring Paul Bearer back, but at the same time, it just, It's just one of those things where I do agree with you, Spencer. I think it would be kind of hard to believe to see Shane McMahon win clean. But at the same time, would it though? Because Undertaker's getting to the point of being as old as dirt right now. So no disrespect to the Undertaker.
let me rephrase that. I don't think it would. I'd have a problem with Shane winning clean. It may happen, but I don't think WWE has the balls to put Shane McMahon over Taker clean.
Well, let's look at their track record, shall we? They don't have the balls to turn John Cena heel. They don't have the balls to turn Roman Reigns heel. They don't have the balls to push anybody unless they're making lots of money. Unless your name is Ted DiBiase Sr., who could be like, oh, here you go. Let me just put money and make my own championship. Look.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And this is why I'm really going to get through, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're going to be venting a lot of our frustrations during these 3 hours. And we got 3 hours, so unless you feel like you're just going to be listening in to a happy-go-lucky show, I
think
suggest
again.
Yeah.
Welcome to the state of WWE today.
Trust me, we haven't even talked about our favorite person, which we're not going to talk about now. Not now. We're going to save that until probably after the first hour.
Eva Marie?
We're still going to talk Evil Marie, yes. But because Max and I have...
Don't you say that name.
I found her on WWE 2K16 Creations, and I downloaded her just for Max.
I hate your entire life.
This is Max Beatty, everybody, so get used to it.
Welcome.
So
welcome to the rage.
But so also talking about Shane and Undertaker, there is rumors that it may be the last match to go on. It might be the main event of that show. And again, going back to talking about Brian Zane, he likes the idea of, winner of the Royal Rumble gets the main event title shot, and, they main event it. And I agree with that, but at the same time, honestly, I think there's kind of a little more of a story between Shane and Taker to where it has a rightful means to be a main event, especially since it is going to be in Dallas. It is going to be in Undertaker's backyard. So
yeah, and that's not just somebody in creative going, hey, we should do it just for Taker and the honor of facing Taker for Shane. No, this is from Triple H saying that he does not want to be the main event because he is concerned about the build between him and Roman leading into WrestleMania 32. And if they end the show with, we can all see it coming from a mile away, Roman Reigns winning the title back for the third time in 6 months, it'll just leave a bad taste in the mouth of fans, and they'll leave WrestleMania 32 very unhappy.
Yeah. And, honestly, I think that you could, whether it's clean or not, I don't think there really is too much of an issue with Shane going over The Undertaker. Again, whether it's a straight-up clean victory or he gets help or what have you, because he's very much a clear-cut babyface in this, because he's, trying to do this to improve the company. But on top of that, it's like what you brought up, Spencer, he can just reverse the decision. Hell, as I brought up to you that Brandon Stroud mentioned, once he wins that match, he has control of Raw immediately. Vince doesn't have the authority at that point to fire him anymore, so he could just basically say, yeah, I don't need to rehire him because your little clause doesn't go off because I control the show now. So there's really no, and since I know we all hate to mention it, but the streak was already broken, so Undertaker taking a loss here, it's really not that, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal, but it's not as big of a deal as it could have been.
I agree. I think it still is a big deal in the sense that, Undertaker, other than Shawn Michaels, he is Mr. WrestleMania.
Oh, God, yeah.
He created so many great moments. We could go on, hours and hours talking about how many great matches he had. He only missed 2 WrestleManias, and that was WrestleMania 10 and WrestleMania 2000. So that just tells you, how dedicated this guy was to being a part of WrestleMania. From his debut against Jimmy Snuka to his, forgotten Hell in the Cell match between the late great Big Boss Man, who is going into the Hall of Fame this year, which we'll talk about in just a bit, to his 2 feuds with Kane, his 2 feuds with Shawn Michaels, his 3 feuds with Triple H, because they somehow ran out of people for him to face, I guess.
Yeah, more or less.
I
It's
mean,
like he's got a 21-1 streak. He's faced like 4 guys, like 7 times collectively.
honestly, they did have some talent that they could have used. I mean, WrestleMania 27, that would have been a great time to have, him and Barrett go at each other because they
Mm.
still had a great feud going into after what happened at Bragging Rights because him and the Nexus buried him alive in Bragging Rights. It's like there's a story right there. He cost him the title. He tried to end his life. So why not bring Barrett into a possible main event title picture? Plus, he got buried by Cena anyway. He needs something.
But that's the problem is they'd already pretty much flushed the Nexus down the toilet.
And they created the Core. Where's my apple?
Oh God, the
I
core.
will light you. Oh wait, no, that's Max's. I will throw you in a dumpster.
Yeah, the core. Oh my God, the fucking core.
So are we gonna do a dumpster match, New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack and
Yeah.
Chainsaw Charlie?
Yep.
Oh my God, I remember seeing that episode as a kid, and I completely bought it along with the crowd. I thought it was completely legit. I'm just sitting there.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how they played it for the most of that. Like, honestly, if they hadn't had Funk and Foley come back, like, towards the end of the episode and just had them, like, gone at the hospital for the rest of it, you could have at least completely legit sold that whole thing for at least a week. But I just remember up until they came back, just, Mick Foley's dead! And that is also how I learned that Mick Foley cannot die. He is immortal.
Pretty much. That's an actually interesting note we should probably touch base on. WWE legitimately had so many moments for a long time where it actually felt real, whether it be, somebody going through thumbtacks, like, Randy Orton trying to do the RKO and got landed on his back on those thumbtacks. There's still a gif of that, and I'm just like, oh, God, how is he not, you got an acupuncture, basically.
Oh God! Anytime I see a wrestler like they hit the thumbtacks and they roll over and you just see them stuck in their back, it's just ugh. The only thing that was worse than that is I saw a clip from some Japanese death match where where they do that kind of sit out thing where they sit out with them and slam them face first into the mat.
Yeah.
Did that chest first into the thumbtacks.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh.
like his face didn't hit his face, just like he did the normal thing, turned his head so that his cheek hit the mat. But he rolls away, and I'm like, what is on his? Oh my God! It was just why? Why would you do that?
So here's an interesting question for you both. When did you think that the legitimacy of pro wrestling in WWE, or the legitimacy of like a lot of these storylines, just lost their, they lost that feeling where you're just like, you go from, oh my gosh, this actually feels real, to, oh, they've done that. Okay.
Now you're talking like today's storylines, or like
In general. Because I know exactly when it started to fall apart for me a little. The 2006 return of DX.
I'd have to agree.
I have never been so irritated and just completely taken out of the moment by anything, because it's like, holy shit, DX is back. Oh wait, that's right. I mean, like, Shawn Michaels got his life clean, which is great, but he's not going to be willing to do a lot of stuff anymore.
Right.
Right.
Also, we're at that
Oh.
point. I think we were just entering the PG era, or close to it.
Well, we're 2 years out from actually going full PG, because that happened in 2008, but that's when they started to really tone it down a bit. The problem is they kind of just wound up 2006 and 2007, they started to just water it down instead of just toning down the violence, toning down the blood, toning down sex. But what was really weird is that you have Shawn Michaels doing all these really stupid little kiddie cheesy PG DX jokes.
Right.
And then you've got like a scene where Triple H is getting implied head, It's just like, And it was so like, or like
Al Snow.
yeah, or them dumping shit all over the Spirit Squad. And it's